Since the year 1999, Nigeria has faced various security challenges, contributing to the evolution of the country's security landscape. State police to tackle insecurity can only be achieved through a constitutional amendment that will require the collective support of all stakeholders, including the National Assembly and socio-economic groupings. Unfortunately, this type of collegiate support for state police is lacking. Amidst the challenges, there have been calls for restructuring the security architecture to make it more relevant to the reality of Nigeria and Nigerians. Many Nigerians advocate for state police to address specific local security challenges more effectively. They believe that decentralized law enforcement can better understand and respond to the unique needs of each state, enhancing overall security and law enforcement capabilities. However, opinions on this issue vary, and concerns about potential abuse or misuse of power also exist. And that forms the fulcrum of our subject matter, the first on Politicals this evening, state police and national security. We will be having this conversation with the public affairs analyst, Ebubeagu Felix Okafo. Nice to have you as our guest, Chief.
Good evening, viewers, and thank you for having me.
Good evening.
I would say that since the Civil War, because that's the height of insecurity I can remember, I don't know if there has been worse insecurity situation in the country thereafter or even before, that Nigeria has been battling. This is the worst case scenario. And the country has been has been making efforts in trying one thing or the other to ensure that insecurity becomes a thing of the past in the country. And over time, part of the measures that have been moved, that has even been considered, is that of state police. And so before we get deep into the conversation, I'd like you to, pass us through the concept of state police. As the name suggests, is it literally translated?
The fact is that a section of the Bible said that you shall know the truth, and it is only the truth that shall set you free. In Nigeria, we have hydro-headed security problem because of centralized security system we have. And that will continue until state security is decentralized. To me, state security is what Nigeria needs now, because it is only the state security that will, free Nigeria from these security challenges. Let me give you an instance. Security-wise, it is easier for a man from Nkanu area to understand the Nkanu language and understand the road terrain of Nkanu. But when you post somebody from Zamfara state to come and police in Nkanu land, that is a very huge joke. So you are bringing somebody that don't understand the language of the people he is policing, a person that does not understand the terrain, don't know even the way, a person that is not even friendly with the environment, to come and secure that place. So state police is where states will employ persons of the locality, irrespective of tribe or religion, to be part of the security architecture of the state. They can draw the security map of their state, design it, execute it, and ensure security of life and property. When we're talking about security, we're talking about the primary responsibility of government. No governor is the chief security officer of his state. Presently, no governor.
But that's what we are told. Is that only
no governor, theory? According to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is the chief security officer of his state. Nobody can appoint a commissioner. A governor can appoint commissioner for agriculture, but no governor can appoint for commissioner of police or GOC. No governor can do that. Before the Civil War, we have regional security system, and that has helped Nigeria in those days to implement the law, the security of the state, where people will begin to secure their environment, even in our families, even in houses. You build your house, you secure your house. It's only members of your house that know the security of your apartment. But you can't build a house and somebody will transfer a security man to you. That is very dangerous. That is how Nigeria is being governed. So the state security policing and state security architecture is the only solution to Nigerian problem. And the only solution, the only pathway we can move on now. If you look at Nigeria, Nigeria is in tatters. If you go to Zamfara, you will see Lokarawa terrorists. If you go to Kaduna and Katsina, you will hear bandits. If you go to other areas, you see criminality is going, ISWAP, Boko Haram, and so on and so forth. Even in fighting Boko Haram that has started over 10, 15 years, it is only when the military goes to Borno State, they will employ local JTF to assist them, to direct them on the pathway. So the state security system is not a hoax. It is a reality that Nigeria has continued to wink at. And because of lack of this security, state security, Nigeria will continue to banter, Nigeria will continue to tumble on insecurities that has been going on. Look at what happened 2 days ago. We learned that some persons were killed in Plateau State, and the governor wanted to arm local security agencies with pump action. But national security agencies intercepted them so that killers will continue to kill. But if people of Plateau State will be allowed to guard and protect themselves, I tell you, this insecurity will be a thing of the past. If the people of Benue State will be allowed to secure themselves, I tell you, this insecurity in Benue State will be minimized.
The state police we are talking about, is it going to be in any way different from the local vigilante that has been operational? And in this past, we have forest guards.
Yes.
So what we are proposing, is it going to be entirely different from that? You know, in Edo State, you know, Romi
Yes.
killings.
Yes.
We understand that it's something that looks like what I just described. The people who use that platform intercepted people who they could not identify with having guns and stuff, and they had to lynch them there and then. So is that also the kind of state policing we are talking about, or are we looking at a different structure?
When we're talking about state police, in Kano State, they have what they call ISBA. That ISBA, they are provided with the law that will allow them to drag somebody to Sharia court and try the person on Sharia offenses. But the local vigilantes we have here don't have right to charge a criminal to court. When you arrest, they take to the police, and if they arrest somebody maybe from Zamfara or from Ringim in Dutse or from Kano, if the commissioner of police is from Kano and they make contact, the commissioner will only call the PO, please release those people, they are innocent. And DPO will have no alternative than to release them. So when we are talking about state policing, we are talking about where the members of the National Assembly will come up with an act that will empower state policing. When that state policing is empowered, all the police officers from Enugu State can come down to Enugu State. All the police officers from Imo State can go to Imo State, and they build their ranks from there. Promotions, charging to courts. We have state high court, we have federal high court. And we have national security system like the army. But policing, it must be, local state police must be provided with the constitutional provision where they can charge a criminal they arrested to court and give evidence against the criminal, and the court will ensure speedy trial. It is the state governors that appoint state high court judges, state magistrates, but the state governor cannot appoint commissioners of police. We have local vigilantes whose duty has been encumbered by the national security system. If you, I don't know whether you may not be in the days of Jim Wobodo as the governor of police.
Ebubeagu have been around for a while.
Yes, yeah, and the commissioner of police, Bishop Eyitene. Jim Wobodo will say this today. Bishop Eyitene will say the other thing. That was very challenging. But if the state police if the policing system will be decentralized, like in Southwest, they have Amotekun, they have their ranks. What they don't have is power of prosecution. So we look at the members of the National Assembly to provide the legislative framework that will ensure the enactment of an act to enable the state police. If this thing is brought to the, and that is part of the decentralization of Nigeria government system, because controlling Zamfara from France or controlling Sokoto from Lagos will be very much challenging. But it will be very easy to control Lagos from Ikeja or from Iyanakpaja or from Ajegunle or from Egbeda or from Ipe or from Lagos Island, whichever way. But so far you are in Lagos. Very challenging to control Omakaolo from Kano. These are the things we are saying, that when we are talking about Nigeria's security system, we must consider some certain factors. There has been records of incidents where local vigilantes were pursuing kidnappers, and they came close to the kidnappers to shoot them. National security agents that were with them forbade them from shooting the kidnappers, and they have to stop. So these are some of the challenges we are talking about. This state security. What happened at Uromi was a very unfortunate incident, but the fact was that they arrested suspected criminals. Even arming yourself with gun without license is a criminal offense. It's a felony. It's a felonable offense. So, but the people of Uromi were so naive in the sense that they arrested those people instead of taking them to the police for proper profiling, investigation, prosecution, and sentencing. They decided to do a show of shame by putting those men on fire and videoing them and posting them. I think that the police should rather arrest that person that videoed that thing, because he wanted to cause national insecurity. Because the aftermath of that video would have set Nigeria on fire. But for the quick intervention of some elders, both from the north, both from the presidency, both from security agencies. But if they are, I believe that is some of this frustration they have encountered in the past that made them to resort to self-help, which is not acceptable, which is condemnable, which is in total deviation from the international and world best practices. So, but what will help this policing system, the security system, is state policing. Let there be laws, so that if a vigilante sees, in my community, we have had some problems. We have our internal security. One of them, he was a young man that was excellent in stealing palm fruit. If you are palm tree fruits and ripen, he will go and steal it. If you have a kola nut, you go and harvest it.
But he's a security person.
No. He's a civilian. But this, the community saw him. They mounted. One day he was doing that. They rushed on him while he was harvesting somebody's palm fruit and arrested him. Instead of taking him to court, they took him to the police. And I don't think that that guy will be prosecuted.
It's just like what had happened at Uromi, the case of setting the northerners ablaze. These things keep happening.
No, setting some criminals, suspected criminals
ablaze.
Yes.
These things keep happening, and we never get to hear the end of this story. We just get to know it at the beginning. We are never told if they were ever taken to court and, you know, the judgment that was given upon them. Why is it always so?
Well, the Nigeria judicial system is very simple. We practice accusatorial law, where a person is deemed to be innocent until proven guilty by a competent court of jurisdiction. And the Nigeria judicial system is so cumbersome, it has a lot of delay. If you can agree with me, there have been cases of kidnappers that has been in court for the past 10 years. One is the famous billionaire kidnapper. Since his arrest, he has been on trial and appeals. Anybody who don't have financial muscle cannot prosecute that matter. It is only that the state is prosecuting it. And sometimes cases may delay in court until the prime witnesses will die. And when a prime witness dies in the matter, the case dies a natural death. Even a complainant, if a complainant dies while the matter is going on, the case is will go. So that was the major frustration of the Uromi security operative, that they resorted to, instead of going to court, instead of going to police, and they'll be doing like this. Sometimes we bring a criminal to the police or any security agency station for profiling and investigation. Next tomorrow, you see the person outside the street warning you that if you don't take your time, and Nigerians have been having such challenges.
Or threatening you that I'll be back.
Yes.
I'll be back.
You will,
and when I come out,
you will see. And when such a threat comes to you, you know what? But if they are provided with state security operative that will prosecute criminals, we have customary courts that can try minor matter. Communities have customary courts. You can take them, some of those customary issues, to customary court, like Sharia court. We have Sharia court, we have Sharia high court, and Sharia appeal. That's where it ended. So, but the trial system in Nigeria is very faulty, particularly criminal trials. And proving a case in Nigeria court is also very challenging. But court is very consistent in making sure that before they convict person, that person you must convince the court that this person, committed an offense. There was a time I was in the court. Somebody was brought for stealing motorcycle, and the magistrate looked at the boy. Did you steal this motorcycle? He told the magistrate. He told the magistrate, please help me. I don't know what drives me to steal. He admitted that he's a criminal. He was arrested by local boys and handed over to the police. Graceful to the police, they prosecuted the boy. The boy was asking the magistrate to help him. What help? He said, send me to a proper prison, so that there are people who are naturally, by their gene, criminals. So such persons are very minor. But what we are saying is high-profile crimes that are being committed. If you look at the way people are being killed in their farms, the way women are being raped, and when you are talking about rape, that is the most challenging case I have ever seen. No woman will have that courage before the public and narrate how she was abused, how she was raped in the forest, in the farm. The children, the stigma will go with the woman, with the children, with the husband, with the families, 100 years after. So we must bring a security system that must ensure security of lives and property, not brazen criminality that is going on in Nigeria, and nothing will be done about it.
There was something you said about regional policing that was on before the Civil War. Yeah. And a mention of Amotekun also reminds me that the Southwest has something that looks strong in terms of security network. The Amotekun that was championed by the late governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu.
Yes.
Okay, and at about the same time, the Southeast governors also agreed on a security network, and I don't know what actually became of their own security network. So my question right now is, as against state policing, would also regional policing, be considered in and as a measure to tackling insecurity, regional each? Because I don't know. Yes. I don't know the region that may not have. Okay, maybe in the south and all of this. But for Southeast, for instance, Southwest, yes, and the Northeast and Northwest, exactly, they have the same language. Yeah, exactly. They understand
same culture, yes,
and the same culture. Save for South, when you may have diverse, yes, languages. So, regional policing.
Yes, regional police is the thing. When you talked about South, I laughed, because there is nothing like North. There is nothing like North.
So it's political zoning.
So what I'm trying to say is that regional policing has the capacity of having decentralized leadership system, control and command center by the region. If you go to Southwest now, each state command of the Amotekun has a commandant, and they have the zonal, the overall commandant of the states. The same thing is applicable to their local governments, and as they may determine. So the Southwest, the Southeast were the first people to talk about Ebubeagu. We suggested many names, Ebubeagu. We suggested, I don't know how they come about this Ebubeagu as a thing. And it has been,
it's conflicting with your title.
Yes. It's not a title, it's a name. It's my name, it's my father's name. Okay. He renamed me after him. So when they said Ebubeagu, so many times when I go to areas like Abakaliki, I don't, like people to mention that part of it, because I may go to Abakaliki and may not come back if Ebubeagu is out of. So what I'm saying is that the Southeast governors, they can see their challenge. When Gani Adam and Frederick Fashegun brought OPC, when Gani Adam and Frederick Fashegun introduced OPC, Odua People's Congress, this OPC were internal security. They built it, they arrest, they prosecute, they kill. The Southwesterners did not call for the imprisonment of Frederick Fashegun or Gani Adams. Rather, they tried to modify it, employ them. In the North, fundamentalists, the jihadists, Boko Haram, they have been killing in the south, in the northeast, northwest, maiming, destructing lives and property. They will be arrested. Nigerian fund will be used to de-radicalize them, and they will be integrated into the Nigerian army. Then when you come to the southeast, if I say anything today, the governors of the southeast will say, extradite Ebubeagu Okafor. The southeast governors will say, send Ebubeagu Okafor to prison. But they have failed to copy what the Southwest have done. And let me tell you, without being immodest, I hate violent crime. I detest crime. But there was a time in the Southeast where terrorists were in all our bushes, until some certain boys came out and said that they gave themselves some names, that they are this, that they are this, that they are this, that they are this. And they began to act, and these terrorists were, and they are still afraid of those boys. Those boys, I don't know them, I don't work with them, but they said that they are securing the farms and bushes of the Southeast. If you want to do a business, go to Southeast market and do your business legitimately. But the Southeast governors have failed to come up with a workable regional Ebubeagu, even if they call it Ebubeagu. They have failed to come to terms with the realities of today. They have failed to mobilize their men and women. Anambra is doing their own differently. Imo is doing their own differently. Abia is doing their own differently. Bakassi. Abakaliki is one with Ebubeagu. Enugu is doing their own differently. They failed to come together. I am challenging the governors of the Southeast to please lay your political differences aside. Raise regional security operatives so that if somebody escapes from Abakaliki to Enugu, Enugu will arrest him and hand him over to Abakaliki for prosecution, or from Owerri to Anambra, or from Anambra to Imo, so that they can synerge with even the people of the South-South. When we are talking about Southeast, when we are talking about Southwest, Southwest should also raise the security network that will secure the Southwest. One man was talking the other day, said that before Buhari came into power, there was no internally displaced persons in Katsina State. But now that Buhari has been the president, they have about 6, 7 or 8 local government areas where they have internally displaced bandit persons. Worst of it all was when Buhari was the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, criminals threatened his security. Criminals attacked his convoy. They even threatened to come to Abuja and attack him. And if the Southwest, if the Northwest will have a Northwest security system that will secure their forests, that will secure their farmlands, Northwest will be protected. If you allow the people of Borno alone, If you allow the people of Borno to challenge this Boko Haram, they will wipe Boko Haram. In 1982, let me tell you, I was in Meduguri, Bulunkutu Police College area. There arose a religious sect that is called Metesina. When the police wanted to, led by Inspector Akuya, wanted to arrest the leaders of the Metesina, the Metesina, countered and killed Inspector Akuya, and that infuriated the president, and Shehu Shagari, and he declared a total war against Metesina, and within some weeks and a month, Metesina was wiped out and was never heard in Nigeria up to today. Even their leader, Issa Mechanic, was bombed when he was in air speaking, challenging the government. Shagari declared that all the military equipment, air, land, and sea will be deployed to get this thing down. And it was done. But Nigeria has been playing politics with bandits. Obadiah Melafia came on television and named some persons that are behind this banditry. Up to today, none of them has been arrested.
Nor prosecuted.
The bandits that has been, does it mean that there has never been any single bandit that was arrested for prosecution since 10 years, since 2015, that bandits were named as a group? No, now. Nigeria must be very fair to themselves. If you allow the Northwest, they will arrest them. One man came up the other day, said that these bandits were known, that a military officer, that it was that they were being politics with it. How do you send an Igbo boy to Meduguri, where they speak Kanuri, to go and confront those people? If somebody that is standing with the Igbo soldier and say, I will bring him in Kanuri language for you to kill him, will he know? He will just be thinking that you are Nigerian army. But if it is a regional security officer, Anambra speak their language, at least you will hear them some. Imo speak their, at least you will hear. Abia, the same thing is Abakaleke. No matter the challenges of Abakaleke dialect, but we do hear some of them. We perceive some of the things they want to say. At least if you hear the fiashi, the man that your head is off.
It's going off. Just to get a clearer view, how best do you think the state police and the local law enforcement agencies can actually collaborate in terms of proper security, and how well can they foster this relationship?
If the Nigerian security system cannot be proactive, rely on the credible intelligence of the local securities, this thing will be a thing of the past. This insecurity in Nigeria will be a thing of the past. But very worrisome. Let me give you a shocker. If you are traveling from here to Oka, you will see Nigerian security agencies employing non-state actors to extort money from travelers.
Exactly.
If you refuse to give that, he is not a policeman, he's a mere criminal. They employed him to continue to extort money from drivers.
But they're in uniforms.
No,
these persons is talking about.
Okay, they are not in uniform. They are not in uniform. They will employ them. Sometimes they plant dangerous items in people's vehicles, and they create gridlock. Where the thing is going, they will signal, they will stop you, accuse you of what you don't know. So in Nigerian security system, if they will collaborate with local security operatives we have, they will arrest those criminals. When you see a header with AK-47, you tell police, or army, or civil defense, these people are with AK-47. He will simply ask you, do you want me to die for what I don't know? But if the local security agencies will be empowered, I think there will be a change of security system. And if Nigeria will stand, what will help us is state security system or zonal security. If Nigeria will continue to exist, because the way things are going today is very unfortunate. You see somebody today, one man was kidnapped, but kidnappers are kidnappers. Whether you are a Fulani man, whether you are from Enugu state, whether a kidnapper is a kidnapper. One man was kidnapped, and after the kidnapping, they paid their ransom, was released. 2 months he died. The trauma. You see justice, a House of Assembly member, so there was somebody that died amongst them, and they were contributing money for the burial using his account. as a depository account for the burial committee of friends. Now they kidnapped him. Who can tell you that it is not a member of that platform that provided the information that led to this kidnapping? Worst of it all was that they kidnapped that man, he paid the ransom, they killed him. So when we are talking about insecurity in Nigeria, it's very challenging. So we are appealing to the police, to the army, to the civil defense, to rely on the credible intelligence of the community security systems. We have Ndinche, we have Ochinche in our states. They have informations, and their informations are credible. When information was provided about a guy that was stealing palm fruits, he was kept on a watch list, on the community watch list. And at the appropriate time, he was apprehended. I think he's still in the police now. But the challenge is that, yes, let me use this opportunity to appeal to the governor of Enugu State. Most of the courts in Enugu State are centralized in Enugu. If you arrest a criminal in Umabe, for instance, bring him to Udi police station for prosecution. Police will charter motor to take the person to Enugu. The accused must fund the taking of the accused to the trial court until court grants him or her bail. And sometimes many people, when they see the challenges of, taking people, but customary courts are working. Customary courts. So I am appealing to the governor of Enugu State to send the magistrate courts to their various localities. It will be the other day. A friend lawyer, we had a discussion with a friend. He said that he's going to Bola for court, but the Bola for court is sitting in Enugu. It's very challenging. So when we are talking about security, we are talking about realistically, but at the same time, let me praise both the Enugu State government and the federal government of Nigeria, and that's why the Bola Tinubu, for their decision to remove Enugu prison that was established inside the Enugu Central Market. That's a very big one for Enugu State. And at the same time, we're commending the governor and the presidency, because the prison is for the presidency. At the same time, politically, I must commend the governor of Delta State and the entire Deltas for their wise and
Ebubeagu, you're going to pay for this particular thing. I know where you are going, and I don't want to mention that you're of APC extraction, so I'm not giving you I'm not giving you this opportunity to say what you wanted to say. Yes. Maybe we invite you on another occasion to talk about that. Now, the state policing, it's there are many convincing benefits, much coming from you, but on the other hand, there's been concerns. Okay, concerns also exist in the eventual formation of state police. Except you think otherwise. Are there concerns really? Are there challenges foreseeable in the future?
There is no challenges associated with state policing. There is no such challenge whatsoever. Politically, if you have state police and you are not doing well politically, they will remove, the same policing system will remove you. Because they will have their families. If you have a state police system, you are not treating them fine, you are owing them salaries, you can't influence them politically. If you have a state police system, any community that you fail to address their security situation and challenges will remove you. So what we have, Nigeria is growing, is developing with speed. People are speaking with their voices. People are trying to take decisions and stand out in their position. So there is no challenge that is associated with state policing. So those who are flaunting challenges are those who are economical with the truth about the insecurity in Nigeria. If there is alternative to what is happening now, if there is any alternative, it is decentralizing of the security system. It must be decentralized. I tell you, you can take it to bank. I challenge the president. I challenge the inspector general of police. A commissioner of police from Zamfara State cannot be more patriotic than a commissioner of police from Enugu State. In Enugu State, he can be more patriotic if he's posted to Zamfara, his home state. You know him. You know his father. You know his mother. You know his village. Any commissioner of police that comes here must do from Enugu State. He must. But when you bring Pharaoh that does know that does not know Joseph, what do you expect? So the policing system in Nigeria is like Pharaoh that does not know Joseph.
Ebubeagu, probably you have not heard that this is from some school of thoughts who feel that with the establishment of state policing, there is potential abuse of power by governors who may use it to score political points or undermining human rights and the same security we are talking about. You know, just using it to achieve political gain.
When you commit a crime, let me talk about human rights. When you commit a crime, your right as free citizen has been suspended. When you murder, I saw what I cannot fathom in Nigeria. Some people were they were on procession along the road. A driver overran, it's unspeakable.
Here in Nigeria?
In Nigeria. Now, when you are arrested as maybe for culpable homicide, for manslaughter or for whatever, your right to freedom has been suspended. So anybody talking about fearing of abuse of human rights must know that criminals, their right must be suspended when they are caught in their crime. If you are a kidnapper and you are caught, or if you are caught raping a woman and you were caught, you'll be talking about human rights. Which rights have you? So the issue of abuse by governor, no governor.
I think what that is all about is, for instance, the case of EFCC, where some presidents in the past have been accused of using them to silence their political opponents because it's a federal government agency.
Good. Sullivan Chime said,
the former governor of
Enugu State, I am not his fan, but he said that it is madness to finish as a governor.
He's your party member.
He's not a party member. He's not a member of it. He said that it is madness for a person to finish as governor and run to be a senator. Since he finished as governor, he's in his house, waiting for EFCC to come. None has come. 12 years or 10 years after his reign. So EFCC can only, they have never come for you for once. They have never come for me for once. They can go on people who they think that they are criminals. When you hear governors embezzling 200 billion, 300, what are they going to do with it? Do you know that a governor of Abia State and the son were accused of embezzling 500 billion naira? Is it not madness? When we are talking about EFCC, EFCC is the checkmate. They will checkmate criminality in governance. Last time, about 4 years ago, when a PDP governor was in Enugu State, local governments do returns to the state government.
For Enugu State, it has always been PDP. You're saying a PDP governor was...
We have a governor of Enugu State, not a political governor, but a governor. There are differences between governors of a state and political governors of a state. Yes.
Oh, I wish I am getting what you're driving at.
The governor of a state is governor for the people, by the people, and for the people. That is the governor of the state. When he is asking you for task, he don't care the party you belong to. When he is constructing smart school or hospital or road, he wouldn't ask whether your
Did
town.
You vote for him?
No, whether your town voted for him or not. He will just do the needful.
Okay. Do you think state police should be given full autonomy, or it should still be under federal control?
When you are talking about state police, it is state police. Because if you allow, there are policemen in the state now that are under federal control. We don't have state police now. If you have state police, the governor will have command and control room to act on a particular matter and a particular security situation at a particular point. But when the governor cites a security situation in this state, for instance, he will act. He will tell the police to act. The police will go to the zonal commander. The zonal commander will go to the IGP. IGP will say, wait, let me investigate. And the crime will continue, or the criminals will escape. But if you have a state police, it will be under the command and control of the state governor, irrespective of who is the governor of the state. Governors come and go, but the state police system will stay. And their promotion will be systematic. You see, recently members of the Nigerian army came to Enugu and complained that the Southeast are not filling their slots. Why? Because the Southeast knew that in the generals of the Nigerian army, let them tell us the spread. Northwest has how many generals? Southeast has how many generals? That was why there was apathy. They have lost faith in Nigerian central security system. The Southeast has lost faith. They have no faith there. Because you will recruit them and put them in a dangerous situation, and they will just go like that. They have watched it over the time. They observed it in the promotions. Even in schools, if you are from the Southeast, you score 370, 320 or 280. Let me use 280. Anybody from Zamfara that scores 150 will gain admission. Why 270 will not? Because you are from the Southeast. Do you know about that? Are you aware of that? The same thing is applicable to the security system.
I think that particular scenario is because of the literacy level in that part of the country.
The literacy level will make you to disqualify somebody that scored 270 in JAMB
over someone that
scored 150. That is the security situation. Can't you create special class for them instead of disqualify? So that is what has been happening in our security system. Even in the police, the promotion, the number, they have. Thank God that this administration under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has come to at least correct some certain things. At least we are hearing for the first time.
Certainly not on appointments, political appointments into.
I said that for the first time in Nigeria, we have heard that Southeast were allocated 200. How much was not
for admission, right?
Yes, into the army. How much was Northwest allocated? They should tell us, so that we know the balance.
Now that you have mentioned it, don't you think that having state police will exacerbate ethnic tensions? I mean, divide us further along ethnic lines, knowing that my state, for instance, has no business in terms of security with your own state or with the government at the center.
Let me tell you the clear difference. Nigerian police is their friend. State police is nobody's friend. If you commit a crime, they will arrest you. That is the other. And there is no threat to ethnic existence because of the security. When we are talking about the security, state security, a northern man that has been in Enugu for 30 years will be part of it. A Delta man in Enugu said that have been that was born in Enugu will be part of it. Somebody from Imo State will be part of it. It is when we are talking about Enugu State, we are talking about inhabitants of Enugu State. There was one Hausa guy I had discussions with. He told me that is at the Omona meeting. I was a bit. It's at the Omona meeting. He pays his dues. I was taken aback. The other day I was going somewhere. One Hausa guy told somebody in Achomokunon. I looked at him. Said, will you go back to the north the way you are speaking Igbo? He asked me to do what? So these are the things. There are some people from Enugu State living in Kano. If you tell them to come back to Enugu, they will tell you no. Even in the midst of this insecurity, they have refused to come back. They claim that all die. Whether they die in Kano, they die in Kano. If they come here, they can even die. So if you give them opportunity to protect their common environment, this Signature TV is situated on a street. If the members of the street will employ security within the street. When you are coming out from any premises in this vicinity, they will know where you are coming from. Because over the year they have lived with you, they have monitored you, they know you are going out and coming in. And when a visitor comes in, it is easily detected. So the issue of state police exacerbating tribalism, there is no tribal sentiment in Nigeria.
You're sure about this?
Yes, there is no tribal sentiment. If you bring akara, and somebody from Kano brings akara to the market, if the Kano woman's akara is sweeter than your own, everybody go to akara one Kano. That's very correct. So state police, why it is more important, it is nobody's friend. But Nigerian police is everybody's friend.
In this era of heightened insecurity, you know, I described from the beginning that we have, it appears we are having it worse than ever since the Civil War. Do you think that state police will rebuild trust within communities? Trust has eluded us. We no longer trust Nigerian police. That is a fact.
You see why? This state police is very simple. It can be understood by anybody. When you have state police, Ababa will have their own unit. These thinkers corners will have their own unit, command and control system for the thinkers alone. If you caught any criminal in the thinkers corner, everybody in the thinkers corner will know that this is a criminal. The house is coming from and keep him on a watch list. So state policing will rebuild confidence, restore sanity, streamline security of lives and properties, and enhance economic activities and productivity at all circles. Let me tell you, why these courts were decentralized is because of insecurity. Opi Nsuka Road, Opi Ubogo Road is a flashpoint. The same thing is applicable to 9th Mile, Okana, Ebo Road. It was a very
and all of them in Enugu State.
All of them in Enugu State. But if you employ state security and their localities are secured, people will be going their normal businesses. This food insecurity we are having in Nigeria, we are as a result of insecurity in the farm. Women are afraid to go to farm because of the fear of unknown. So, but when you bring state security into play, they will be part of the farmers. Because if you employ somebody from Ishiago, or from Muamankano, or from Nome to be a security, you will not pay his house rent. He will live in his house 24 hours. He will be farming in his house. He will go to their local market, and so on and so forth. So they will be there doing their duty every day. There is no, like in every community now, where you have this neighborhood watch, if anything happens by 12, you simply call them to come. He will mobilize 1 or 2 people. At every village, there is a point person in every village. They will just mobilize, go to the people. And the early time they used to arrest people is by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the early morning. But if you tell Nigerian police, come from where they do arrest, armed robbers are here, we'll ask you, how many are they? What type of gun do they have? Have they killed any person? Who they kill them? So they may not be able to come at that hour of the night. They may even try to come, their wife will stop them. But in the village, no, you don't do that. Because you can say you lay hand on this. You can also call police from Enugu to come to Umabi at 1 p.m. They told you that they don't have fuel. Yeah? But if you call a state police officer in our community to come, they will come. Even if they don't have Okada, they will walk down and rescue the situation. So the security, state security will restore sanity in our society. It will restore security. It will rebuild the confidence of our people. It will enhance productivity. It will also bring in inclusiveness of multi-tribes, because people will be coming to the east to do their business. People will be going to the northwest to do their business. And our people will be happy to pay their taxes, security taxes. Look at what is happening in some states in the southeast. I won't use Enugu State as an example, because if I use Enugu State, my party may say that I praise Enugu State. But in some states, any governor that charges high tax is ready to do the job, because he will answer what he used their tax
To do.
to do. He will be answerable to the taxpayers. So if you go to any state in the southeast now, look for any state governor that have moved the state from civil service state to economic point and see how far it's faring. So that is the same thing is applicable to insecurity and state security. When you bring state security down to the southeast, in the south you have state, do you see that the number of kidnapping activities in the southwest and criminality has reduced to the barest minimum because of Amotekun? They are there. Before Ore, Bini Road, if you have been to Lagos, Bini Road was a very challenging road because when you get to Shagam, from Shagam to Odobolu, you will see massive forest going on. The vehicle will be running at any block, criminal activity, but the Amotekun has stopped it. They have the one at Shagam, they have the one at Odobolu, and so on and so on and so on and so on at the road stretches. So I think that the state police is the answer to Nigerian security problem. And if it is well arranged, if our National Assembly members can do justice, can do people-oriented legislation, and ensure state policing system, Nigeria will be better for it.
If you had said that there are no challenges to be expected, such as I mentioned, the issue of abuse by state governors, what role really will the legislative bodies play in overseeing state of police operations and ensure accountability? We are a nation, or let me not use certain descriptions for the country, but we know how it plays on here. We get an idea that is working elsewhere, and when it comes to our own climb, it looks like our soil does not accept it for to thrive. So how can accountability be ensured if perchance state police is instituted?
It's very simple, very simple. The forest guard that we have in Enugu and the neighborhood watch, they don't have accountability challenges. They have central system of paying their salaries, and it has been going on, and they don't owe a security officer, mind you. So the issue of accountability there is I don't see it in anywhere, in any form or shape, or in any form or shape. But to the members of the National Assembly, it is my appeal to them that they do all they can to enact an act providing for state policing. That will help the governors to have command and control system of their states. If you listen to Nyesom Wike on the other day, governors, every governor of a state have state security votes. So with that state security vote and state security taxes, because if that is done, people will happily pay for their taxes. If they will ensure, if I am sure that I can drive from here to Onitsha. There was a time night travel was the order of the day in Nigeria. There was a time if you want to go to Lagos, Enugu in the evening, night. Lagos in the morning. Will be Enugu in the evening, Kano in the morning. If every Nigerian will be sure that their lives are secured, they will pay up to 5,000 naira a month. Bring it to the minimum. They will pay up to 2,000 naira a month for their security. Nigeria is about 120 million. Tax to 2,000 naira per Nigeria security. You see that trillions will maintain this, buy equipment. Nigerian police is empty. Nigerian civil defense is empty. They don't know what is. They don't have drones. There is no security drone in any police division in Enugu State. Where the drone, you send the drone to areas, it will go and map and see. It is only now that the governor of Enugu State is trying to build satellite security. When you bring satellite security system in a state, at any flash point, Enugu is very small. Yes, Enugu is not up to 1/4 of Niger State. in landmass. Yes.
Okay.
Enugu is not up to quarter of Niger State in landmass. If there is any crime in Opisokaro, you deploy drone there, move your helicopter there. No matter where the criminals we had, you track them down. In America, my cousin that was in America said that they went to a very far area where they killed goats and put it in a sack and be coming to town. On a filling station, they were about to gas their vehicle, and a drop of blood was it. There, they phoned police, helicopter from the up, ambulances surrounded him. In a twinkling of an eye. Or not, he entered mode to move there, said no, stop, park. They cleared him out of the gas station. And they began to search him and discovered that it was meat. Yes. But Nigeria will be talking about
human
10 students being kidnapped, 200 people being kidnapped. They will tell you that they are negotiating. And even government officials will pay. There is no security system. So, but the state security will allow that. You will see people, there is nobody from Enugu State that can donate vehicle to police today. Nobody will do that. But if you have a good security system, I tell you in communities, these local communities where people are donating Sienna buses to those locals because they have confidence in that and what we have in Nigerian police. So if you decentralize police, if the National Assembly will put an act to create state police, it doesn't harm anybody. The Nigerians will do donations, free will donations. We go to the schools. They do it freely, without molesting people. Not when you see criminals, they give you 200 naira, you pass them. You see a husband and wife, you come down, everybody, madam, hands up. You'll be searching madam for nothing.
Okay, you've talked about the effectiveness of state police. And just to be on the other side, what do you think are those things that can compromise the effectiveness of this state police as well?
Well, what can compromise the effectiveness of the police is when the citizens are not giving support to the police, because everything rallies around the people. If there is any state police, let the citizens cooperate with the state police, provide them critical intelligence, of the security situation, support the government, pay your security levy, and be law-abiding. It is only when you are not law-abiding that will be at cross purposes with the security agencies. But to me, I see nothing wrong with the state or regional policing system. That is the only way forward in Nigeria political security logjam that we have. For now, there is a security logjam. Nobody is sure of what is going to happen tomorrow. They kidnap magistrates, they kidnap generals. Generals in the Nigerian army have been kidnapped, have been killed. One general, Bade, was kidnapping his farm in Abuja and killed. General of Nigerian army. He fought all he was, survived it, to his farm. Criminals kidnapped and killed him, and so on and so forth. So these things will stop only if we have state security.
But in the meantime, Ebubeagu, what can we do? How can we cope with the federal police still on ground? Do you look at it at the angle of having an effective collaboration between the Nigerian police force and local
I have exhausted my opinion on that. I said that people have lost hope. The way Nigerian police is structured, there is no hope in it. It cannot be restored. You saw what the IGP did yesterday. He withdrew the mobile police officers
from every VIP.
From VIP. They abandoned the policing system and they were on VIP. Wherever you see burial or wherever, they follow big men here and there. The IGP has withdrawn them and they will not be happy about it because they benefit more from being VIP escort than securing Nigerian citizens. The solution is state policing system.
Thank you very much, Ebubeagu. Though you have said that that is the solution, I mean the establishment of state policing. But this particular issue is a complex one because of the pros and the cons that have been shared by others. Thank you for sharing your your view on this subject matter with us on Politicus this evening. Thank you, Ebubeagu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.